Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. Witness the medicine man with a fitness regimen plan. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to Jock, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback claiming that maybe we're using too many technical terms, such as genetic and fuzzy. So we will try to keep things just more simple in the future. Here to assist with that is our producer, Cameron.
Hello.
All right. So Cameron feels the pulse of the world.
That's right.
Yeah, he listens to folks like you, and he passes that word along to me so that I can kind of know what you want to hear and how you want to hear it. All right? So don't be surprised if he speaks up to offer sort of a slight shepherding hands to assure that we stay on track. Also with us is DJ Dylan in the house. Plus, Cameron has informed me that we have a guest arriving later in the show by the name of Barbara Denny.
That's right.
Yeah, she's apparently an activist. So brace yourself for the enlightenment that is likely to bring. Before we move on, I would like to address a bit of feedback that we received. Quote, place an order today for 8 waffles, 4 chocolate, and 4 pecan waffles. When I arrived at the chocolate shop, waffles have no chocolate chip. They have to go back and put them on there. When I got home and I looked at them, I was extremely disappointed. I was expecting some nice fluffy waffles, not these raggedy tortilla-looking waffles. I'm being charged extra to have pecan waffles, but these waffles barely have any pecans in them. End quote. First of all, I would like to thank you for contacting us at Jock. It is, of course, always a pleasure to hear from our listeners. In answer to that question, I'm so sorry for what happened with your waffles. The Jock podcast is not typically known for selling waffles.
But Dr. London, they reached out to you for a reason.
And here I'm kind of wondering what that reason was. The waffles do sound delicious, except for the problems that they were having.
Maybe they just wanted a medical expert's opinion on their waffle situation.
Right. Well, so waffles.
Can you talk a little bit about
the medical side?
Yeah, kind of the medical science of why their waffle order was so messed up.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure I can speak specifically to why it was messed up.
Of course.
But I can say that sometimes it is nice to just have a little treat, like a waffle, as long as we keep our diets otherwise balanced.
Oh, so you're saying that having 8 or 4 chocolate chip waffles and 4 pecan waffles, that's kind of a balanced diet right there because you get half of each.
Not on its own. No, you'd have to.
This is really
over the course of several days. So it's a dessert thing to have once in a while as a special treat, but you'd really want to keep a balanced diet otherwise.
This is really interesting because for about 13 years of my life, I lived on a waffle-only diet. And I heard many things from the medical community begging me to stop.
They reached out to you.
And now I realize I was just eating the chocolate chip waffles. If I had balanced it, like you were saying, with a balanced diet, with pecan waffles, maybe with strawberry waffles.
I don't think that...
I could have... Man.
What made you
really
decide?
freeing.
What made you try for a 13-year diet of the same food every day?
Well, it's not like I decided on day one I'm going to do this for exactly 13 years.
Okay.
I woke up one day, I ate a waffle, went to bed, woke up the next day, ate another waffle, chocolate chip waffle, went to bed again, woke up the next day, hung out with some friends, went over to my mom's house, had a waffle.
You remember that from
went to
13
sleep.
years?
Next day, I went and saw a movie. At the movie, I brought my own waffle.
Okay, we can go ahead and move on then.
Okay.
As interesting as it is, we'll go ahead and move on from there. But thank you once again for reaching out. Now, for a tale from the hospital. We have a patient who...
lay it on me.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is the part you laid on me. So go ahead.
Okay. So we have a patient who keeps saying that his wife has done nothing to cause his current condition. He escalated this complaint to hospital administration. His wife is doing the same. But here's the deal. We never said that his wife has done anything to him. We actually didn't even know he was married, but she's recently been at the hospital some, apparently. So administration is also confused. He is also mad that we won't tell his wife what is wrong with him. And we told him he hasn't filled out the proper forms that allows us to do so. Then he refuses to fill out those forms. So his wife has also told us that the meth in his system is because their neighbors cook it. He has no meth in his system. To summarize, this patient is complaining to hospital administration with the claim that his wife has done nothing to cause his current condition, and his wife claims that the meth in his system is because their neighbors cook it, even though there is no meth in his system.
Case closed. Right?
It just seems very odd. Well,
I mean, can you talk about the medical science of why meth was not in his system?
My suspicion would be that he did not smoke meth, or that there was no meth to be no meth issue, and the neighbors cooking
it makes sense if the only way you're able to know if someone has a balanced diet, like you were saying before, is by checking the meth levels in their system.
That's not so. You want things like cholesterol and things like that are also critically important to
cholesterol high, meth levels higher.
You want to have zero meth in your system, generally speaking. Not even generally. You don't want to have meth in your system.
Zero, you can't balance things with zero. Imagine a scale, and on one side is good old cholesterol, and on another side is air. That's not a balanced diet, Dr. London.
That I sort of see your logic, but okay, let's go ahead and move on from there.
Okay.
So now it's time for today's topic, the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system works with your central nervous system, and that one consists of your brain and spinal cord. But in a way, your peripheral nerves are like mail carriers, sending messages between your brain and your body.
Ooh, not my mail carrier. He stopped bringing me stuff.
Was there a reason for that?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like I wanted to go on a ride along, like people do with the police, and he was not really willing to do that. Because to me, those mail trucks, they got the steering wheel on the opposite side,
as opposed to
that's nuts. That blows my mind.
Wow. So
can you imagine? Just imagine waking up as a mailman and getting into the car on the opposite side. That's my dream.
In other countries...
And so I tried to push him out of his mail truck when he wouldn't let me in. Now he won't bring me my mail.
Okay.
He just kind of throws it. He throws it into the trash.
You tried to get in his car just when he was bringing you mail?
Yeah. Well, I talked to him about this for weeks beforehand.
When you say talk to, do you mean... Because your approach is...
I left him messages.
Where?
On his windshield.
Okay. It seems like one of those things where you would, if you wanted to learn about that job, you maybe go to the post office and talk to them.
I wanted to ride this mail guy's mail truck.
From your house.
Yes. So I left messages, that said, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get in your car.
Well, that sounds threatening to me.
It's fun.
I think part of the reason why he may have been disinclined to allowing you to join him is that those sound like threatening messages rather than sort of positive requests.
Oh, yeah, because in this day and age, everything has to be positive. No one wants to face reality. No one wants the real stuff. I'm offering realness. I'm saying, hey, you know what's real? The sky is blue. Grass is green.
All right. Well, anyway.
I'm going to get into your mail truck, and I'm going to drive it away, and I'm going to throw things out of that window because it's cool that you can drive on the opposite side. This is what today is.
Okay.
Society.
Right.
Today.
Okay, so back to
I am going to get in your truck.
So back to peripheral nerves. So they're like mail carriers sending messages between your brain and your body. Some of those nerves carry messages from your sensory organs, like your eyes, skin, nose, all of those. They carry messages to your brain. So whenever you saw that mail truck, some of those nerves sent messages to your brain.
And I never got them.
Okay. So those are sensory nerves. Other peripheral nerves carry messages from your brain to your muscles and organs. And so those ones are called, especially to your muscles, those would be motor nerves.
I haven't gotten my issue of Popular Mechanics in 14 months.
Is this an issue you're having with the mailman as well?
No, it's an issue of a magazine.
Oh, all right. So you have sensory and motor nerves, one for feeling and the other for action. So I guess so the way that could tie in with the mailman situation is you use your senses to find out that he was coming and passing by, and you used action to try to get into his mail truck.
Absolutely. That is extremely accurate, Dr. London.
All right. Well, it's nice that the lesson
Yeah,
really
I'm glad
fits
we're on
in.
the same page.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move
and
on.
I am going to shove him out of his truck every single day until he lets me drive it. And I'm glad that I have your support.
I don't support violence and
who said anything about violence? I didn't say anything about violence. I'm just carrying this big stick. Just carrying it around.
I was wondering about that because you got spikes
Oh,
in there.
no reason I got it. Just got it. Helped me walk. It's a walker.
With the stakes and with the nails.
Yep.
Just helps you walk.
Yep.
Okay. It seems like that could cut your legs while you're walking.
No, I'm careful.
Okay.
The pointy end is faced in a specific direction. Towards the mailman. That's where it's always pointing.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on from there, if you don't mind.
I will destroy this mailman. Thank you, DJ Dylan.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Do we have any sponsors today?
It says you.
Okay. All right. So, I'm sponsoring our podcast today, which that makes sense because if we keep losing sponsors at the rate we've been losing them, then because you seem to read the ads in a certain way.
Our show's budget, the show's bank account that we have?
Yeah.
It's really running out of money because we're spending so much on these ads. I'm just going to say it.
We are spending so much on the ads.
Yes.
Okay, because
it's just irresponsible at this point.
Because the point of the ads is supposed to be that we don't lose money. We actually we're supposed to be gaining money from ads.
I don't want to lose money either.
But we are losing money. And you say it as if it's because we run ads.
Yes, they're so expensive.
Okay, the ads.
Every time I give one of our sponsors your debit card, they spend it on insane things.
Okay, why are you giving them the? Okay, well, in any case,
I guess today, since you're the sponsor, I can finally give your debit card to you.
Yes.
And once I get it back, I will give it to you.
From
our previous sponsors.
Okay.
They kind of pass it around amongst each other. I set up like a group chat.
Right.
A group text message so they can be like, hey, I've got it. I'm at the Safeway. Come by.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Do we have any guests? You said we had a guest today. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Miss Barbara?
Hi, yes.
I'm sorry. What do you like to be called? I know your name's Barbara Denny. Do you prefer?
Please call me Mrs. Daniel Denny, please.
Mrs. Daniel Denny. Okay. All right. What? You're an activist, you said?
Yes. We are having a march for human rights. We are. Me and my sister wives. We have been
sister
getting
wives?
this.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Go on. I don't mean to interrupt.
me and my 12 sister wives, we have been getting this march together because they are coming against us in our way of life, and we like the way that we live, and we want to finally come out and say that we're fine. We're okay. We're choosing this for ourselves, and we can leave at any time we want, and so that's why we're here.
Are you tearing up a little bit?
Seems like she's really happy to be here.
Yeah, yes. I'm so happy to be here representing my husband and our family.
Okay. Well, it is a pleasure to have you here, Mrs. Daniel Denny. So whenever you say you're coming here in support of them, have you faced discrimination?
Yes, they want to tear our family apart, and I'm just here to say, no, we're okay, we're safe, we're fine, we're happy with the way things are. Me and my 12 sister wives, and you know what? We can leave at any time we want. We're not being held here. We can leave anytime we want.
That sounds like honestly, a fantastic situation.
Yeah, it's really great. We get to stay here. We get to stay at our house, and we get to have a lot of children. We get to just get to keep having children every year.
Wow.
Each of
There's nothing sweeter than the laugh of a child.
Yes. Yeah.
Every year, all 13 of you have a child?
We get to.
That sounds like an odd sort of privilege. So
Motherhood is a privilege.
Right, and we do love our mothers out there. That seems a bit, I want to say, excessive, that many children, because with 13, how long have you been having children every year for? Like, how long has this been going on?
For 16 years.
Okay, so 16 years.
But we have to have that many children so that we can get into heaven. We have to have at least 112.
Okay. Well, that's...
Anyways,
it sounds like it's sort of up your alley, Dr. London, right? I mean, medical stuff, having children, access to heaven. This is all kind of falls under your purview.
Yeah, and obstetrics, certainly, the pregnancy and everything does fall into medicine. But the whole concept of, I'm sorry, with your faith, with your particular, what religion is this?
We're Mormons.
Okay. And Mormons, they believe that you have to have, I'm sorry, it was 100, how many children?
You have to have at least 112.
112 children in your family. And, okay. And that has to happen just to get into heaven. Is there any other process to get into heaven in your faith? Or is it based on the number of children only?
That's all that I know. That's all I've been told so far. So I'm just going day by day with this.
So
this is the most sense religion has ever made to me.
So when, what is your husband's name, if I may ask?
Daniel Denny.
Okay, and you're Mrs. Daniel Denny, right?
That's what I must be called.
Okay. Do you, which number are you? You say there are 12 other sister wives. Which one are you?
I'm number 8.
Number 8. Okay.
I love it. And I'm so glad that we're fine and that we're okay and that we can leave whenever we want. If I wanted to leave, I could wait till the 4th Saturday when he's in Shelley's room because that's the farthest from mine. And then under the cover of darkness, I know that he sleeps well between 12 and 4. I could go downstairs. I know the 3rd stair from the bottom creak, so I could skip that one. And then if I could get into his lounge, I could find the box that's underneath his desk. And I've tried the combination 3 times, and I think I know it this time. I think I can go. I can get my stale pieces of garlic bread, and I can go. All I need to do is strap those babies onto my elbows and knees, and I can crawl through the 30 feet of barbed wire. Once I get there, there's 2 miles to the major highway. If it's a red Ford Focus,
sounds like a lot.
Hide! Because that's his brother. And if his brother tells him that he sees me out... I don't want to think about it. Then I just need to run. I need to run for about 3 miles in the nearest gas station. I've already sent a pigeon to my mom. She knows that I'm coming. But
You sent a pigeon.
I trained a pigeon.
So you bring, okay. I don't mean to interrupt. So you'd send a pigeon so that your mom would know, and then your mom would come to pick you up?
She would know to expect me.
Are you in contact with your mom? Does she know?
Through the pigeon carrier.
It sounds to me like this may not be necessarily the best situation. Whenever you say that you can leave
she said
anytime.
she can leave at any time, Dr. London. She just said that.
Yeah, anytime.
You think she's just too weak to leave anytime she wants?
Well, I think the main issue might be
too weak to leave, according to Dr. London. Yet another famous quote.
So she doesn't know you don't know the combination to get out? So it's you being free to leave is based on you being able to sneak out while your husband is asleep and carefully not wake him, and I'm guessing the other 12 sister wives, and get out, use the combination in the lounge, and then go through barbed wire, watch out for the red truck, his brother.
With some old garlic bread.
And then get to a gas station and send a pigeon out. That doesn't sound free to leave to me. That sounds actually like you're having to strategize an escape plan.
No, I can leave anytime I want. Any of us can leave anytime we want. We're happy. We're fine. We're okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it sounds like she can leave at any time. She keeps saying it.
Okay. How did you meet your husband? Mr. Daniel Denny.
He's my dad's brother.
Your dad's brother?
Yes.
Okay. Your uncle?
Yes.
Okay.
He was 86 when we got married.
Okay. And you said that was 16 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. So
I keep counting down the days. But he won't die. He can't die. He won't ever die.
Okay. So you talk about this religion, I'm sorry, it was Mormonism, is that right?
Yes.
Right. So in this religion, you have someone, is it just, sorry, who is a member of this religion? Is it just those 12 sister wives, yourself, and...
Yeah, I mean, I can name 14 people in this religion right here.
I'm sorry, did you join their religion?
No. You got Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so, I mean, yeah, 15 now.
Okay. So
I'm on board.
Beyond that, are there any other members of your religion?
His grandfather is the one who got the divine message.
Okay.
When he was in Mexico, the legend goes that he drank some bad water. He was in the bathroom. He was having the worst diarrhea of his life. And he heard a voice from what we assume is the heavens. And the voice said, "Don't drink the water."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our religion is based off of.
Because that's a very common saying whenever you travel because of how potentially dangerous the water, because the water can be filled with certain bacteria, certain amoebas. And if he was hearing voices, not only could it be just a normal warning that was being said, but it could also be, if he had very severe diarrhea, his electrolytes could be imbalanced, and that can cause neurological disturbances like psychosis.
I wish that were true.
Well,
Dr. London, you can't be telling people that their religion is because of some sort of mental instability. That's like, you got to be careful with this kind of stuff.
Right. I'm sort of more trying to get to the understanding of that. So you're...
Mrs. Danny, you guys have a roof over your head, correct?
Yes.
It sounds like you have a bed or at least blankets to sleep on.
Yes.
How do I become the 14th sister wife? I want in.
I'm not sure if that's really the best thing to go for here, because it sounds, for one thing, Cameron, it sounds like that's restrictive in terms of what you're allowed to do or move around. So it might inhibit your participation in this podcast, for instance.
I mean, it sounds like it's easier to
leave
here than it is to leave this podcast.
Could you tell me what are the living conditions like?
We're fine. We're happy. We like our house. If you want to participate in the march, we'll be meeting at the town square.
Oh yes, the march. The reason why you're on the podcast at all.
We'll be in the town square on Saturday at noon. And if you do come, maybe you could bring some wire cutters so that I could cut the shackles that are on my feet.
Oh.
And maybe I could get in the back of your truck. And maybe you could put a blanket over me. And maybe you could drive me to my mom's house in Wisconsin. I'll see you there.
I will be there. Sounds like a great march for a good cause.
Well, aspects of that sounded very good in terms of rescuing someone, but it sounds like there's a very real issue going on there.
They're trying to get away from the discrimination you're bringing right now, Dr. London.
So
this is why these kind of marches have to exist.
Well, Mrs. Daniel
Because of
Denny,
people like you.
Could you tell me a little bit more about that aspect of the religion of it's based on don't drink the water? Could you go into that a little bit more?
I have to go. I hear my husband.
Oh,
hey, Daniel.
Oh, hey, Danny.
We play bridge.
Yeah, well, and you kept introducing me to him too. Okay, so this is the same Danny that you said he's a great guy, like very insistently.
Yeah, well, he told me to tell you that.
Okay, so that wasn't... Okay, well, so they're leaving. Okay, they're gone.
See you next weekend.
I can't help but feel like we should call the cops on that.
Who?
Well, her feet were shackled. And that, to me, that's a real indicator that something's wrong.
Don't you think maybe we should be thinking about calling like a baker or something so we have something to bring to the rally, like a dessert or something?
That's not necessarily.
Let's
like
call
my
a baker
main
first,
concern.
and then we'll meet back up and we'll figure out what we do next. Talk to a baker. I'm gonna run by the store. I need some new clothes, get some new shoes.
Do you bring baked goods to marches very often?
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
And that's people
eat
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, probably we should call the cops on this one.
I'm gonna call a baker.
Thank you so much for listening to that episode. If you liked it at all, to the point where you did not necessarily feel nauseated, please text a friend or family member about the Jock Doc podcast right now. And you can do that with jockdocpodcast.com. You just text them that link.
And if this podcast did make you feel nauseated, we will put you in contact with a great lawyer.
Oh no! Okay, no. We don't want Cameron. We don't want a lawyer. We don't want law to get involved.
I'll get you in contact with just a really excellent lawyer who can give you the justice you deserve.
Okay, no, because our podcast does not cause. I feel like this is weird to have to say. It doesn't cause nausea.
Why did you just say it?
I was saying because it shouldn't, and so it shouldn't cause it, and so for that reason, it's sort of a...
Yeah, it shouldn't. If it does, here's a lawyer.
Okay. Well, all right, so we are on podcast apps, Spotify, YouTube, and in the hearts of our boys in uniform across the globe. But anyway, so please share, please subscribe, review, and rate the Jock Doc podcast with a 5-star review. Anything less, and we won't accept it. So, we are at Jock Doc Podcast on social media.